guys, we are in a town called Selebi-Phikwe in Botswana today. We actually drove here yesterday from Gaborone till here. It took almost 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah, we had like a very long drive and it was super hot because we're right now in the peak of summer.
But it had rained a few days back, so everything was like literally green in color.
Everything looked so lush and beautiful, and it's hard to believe that we are in the Kalahari desert, but we're seeing all of this greenery. But then we also learned from our friends that during this time when there's summer rain, that's when it actually becomes green, and for a short while, like maybe a few weeks, everything looks a bit more lush than usual, and then everything goes back to being brown. And for the last couple of weeks I've had some good rain, which meant that all of the greenery that we saw is actually very new. And
there's lots of food for the animals in Botswana. This country is supposed to have the maximum number of animals, and we have heard people say that just while they were traveling, they saw some zebras cross the street and giraffes cross this way. We're waiting to see it.
Yeah, funnily enough, we did see a few ostriches yesterday when we were making this journey.
Yeah.
So right now we're in Selebi-Phikwe. Selebi-Phikwe is actually a small town somewhere in the east side of the country. We're not too far from the Zimbabwe/South Africa border areas. So in this place, there's actually a lot of industry that's been there for a long time. We came out here because our friend happens to own one of those businesses and he invited us to come check it out with him. So we came here.
Yeah, and I also heard there are a lot of mining sites here in this area.
So he actually took us up to the top of a hill where we could see all of these incredibly cool mines and factories. So we got to see a different side of Botswana, which we don't typically do while on a tourist trail. So today our plan is to drive further out from here towards the west. So we'll probably step a little further into the Kalahari, but our friend was telling us that there's a very cool spot that looks like an open salt pan, and maybe we'll go check that out.
Let's go.
Please tell him about this fruit.
What do you call this?
I don't even know the name. Oh no, in Botswana it's called is it mukakapa? Motorogo. Yes.
But
Setswana.
pes.
Is it sweet?
Semi-sweet, not too sweet.
Okay. It looks like dragon.
I've had it before.
You had it.
We barely got out of the neighborhood, and right here we see this enormous.
It's
Where is
a
it?
baobab tree.
Look at that.
The last time we saw one of these was in Malawi, and we couldn't find it anywhere else in the southern African countries, and Botswana has lots of them.
I'm sure they're much further away in the wild, but when you're hopping between cities and hitchhiking, you don't really see a lot of them. Look at that size. You see that how small Shish is and how big that tree is. After driving for almost 3 hours, we've now made it to this town called Letlhakane, which is where Botswana discovered the second biggest diamond on earth. So we actually saw, like while passing on the highway, you can even see the big mounds of the mine where it was actually found. And right now we're in a little strip mall that we have decided to come stop at to collect some snacks.
And these malls are like so long, and all kinds of restaurants are there, shops are there. It's like an open air mall, which is, we never find it in India, right? I've never seen
this
anything
is
like this.
this is a very common thing across southern Africa. Like all of these countries have the same kind of setup. And it's funny how out in the middle of nowhere, this is easily like 400 kilometers, 500 kilometers away from Gaborone, but it's like a full-fledged city inside a town. So it's really fascinating.
Ready? Oh my god, you're pulling out the snacks.
donkey.
Because people like us come here at this time.
That's a huge dump.
Yes,
Some animals taken.
somebody had a good name. But you just never know. Okay. There you go.
I'm not going to get down.
Yeah. What did we see?
Well, the lighting is off anyway. These spotlights. It's gone into the bush here.
Oh, there it is.
What?
Sunny.
Okay,
Rabbit.
wow.
I don't think we're very visible here right now, but
Stuck in the middle of the salt pans of Botswana.
we are absolutely in the middle of nowhere, stuck between two big salt pans. And this entire area has been flooded with a lot of rain in the last couple of weeks. And turns out the entire trail that leads up to where we wanted to camp tonight is also entirely flooded. So where we are right now, the car has actually sunk into about 1 foot of mud, and we're not able to get out. So now we're struggling. As you can see, this is what it looks like. You see this? And the car is just stuck.
We're in the middle of the salt pan and we are stuck, and I'm supposed to be really scared, but right now I'm fine. It's perfectly fine because we have company, there are beautiful stars in the sky, and I know that we will figure out a way out of this mess.
So the mess that Shish is talking about is this. So this is the car door, and as you can see, even the footboard is right now sunk. We can't even see anything because it's so very dark. But at least the stars are there above. Ah, look, you can see some of the stars. I can't even get down. If I get down, I'll bring muck into the car. So our original plan was to go a further 20 kilometers this way and to reach the Sua Pan. But because all of this is flooded now, there's no way to really continue. And our friend GK just gave a call to the guys who run the only campsite out there at Kubu Island. And they said they have themselves not made it out there because all of this area has been closed off because of heavy rains. So I guess
But
now
we somehow made it so far.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It was just 10 more kilometers.
20.
Namneet is trying his luck, but it's still stuck. Wow, look at that. Look at the tire. So they're trying to collect the grass from the floor there and putting it below the tires so it gives them some
Traction.
traction. So Mr. Mudak is trying to collect the grass and put under the car. Whereas there you can see in the far, you can see two lights. Navneet and GK have gone to collect a piece of wood. We somehow tempted Muduk to come here to find peace, and now he's finding pieces of grass and wood.
Robbed me.
There's mud all over. Navneet is farming at night. Okay, that was scary.
Back now. Run. Now stop.
Nothing.
I think if we clear a bit of the mud in front of the back wheel. The front is fine there anyway.
Maybe we should
We
go
could
for
get
it.
moving. But there's a bit of mud we have to remove from under the car on the floorboard this side.
Okay.
I think that's where it's stuck. We're still stuck. It's now been more than 1 hour, and all we tried to do was go find wood that we could put under the wheels to get it moving. But there's absolutely no trees here. We went looking for it quite far walking, but there's absolutely no shrubs or twigs or anything. It's just grass like this one, like reeds. So it's getting really hard. We still don't know what we can do to get the tires out. Basically, the problem is on this side, on the left side of the car, it has sunk further in than the other sides, and it's stuck. Nothing's happening now. We can't move the car anymore. But we've decided to have dinner.
We're having some chapati and palia and rice and dal and lots of cold.
We're trying one last time. Okay, we're giving up. Okay, so I guess we're gonna be spending the night here under the stars.
Well, for me, it was a fantastic day because I got to see these so many stars which I've never ever seen in my life, and I had good Indian food under the stars. And I feel sad for these three people who really worked so hard to get it out, and I was just sitting in the car.
Hello, three people. Wave your hands. Clearly, nobody's seen. We have called in for help, but we don't know when they will come. So, until then, which could take some days also, possibly. So, we're just gonna be here. And we still have food and water for, I guess, at least another day or two. So, we'll see you probably in the morning.
It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning and the help has not arrived yet. It's pitch dark.
Finally, it looks like the recovery vehicle has arrived.
It's fine, fine. Let's lock.
So this is where we've been stuck all night, and we still haven't been able to get out. The other car that pulled up, it's the same car, the same guys who tried to help last night, but they did not have a chain or a rope to tow the car out of the pit that we're stuck in. Actually, it looks like the car went off the path. A lot of the muck got stuck between the axles. Since it's so very watery around here, the sides where the wheels are located, it's all just becoming pools of water now. The car is sitting on like a bed of muck. The only other option that they've not tried till now is to actually tow it out. Hopefully it works. Otherwise we could be stuck here another day. So you see, these are the tracks. And this is how deep the muck actually goes. All of this is supposed to be a salt pan. But then because of heavy rains in the recent weeks, there's a lot of grass that's grown here. And all of these mud trails have become muck trails. And there's even a river flowing right here where Shish is standing.
And this is supposed to be the salt pan, supposed to be right.
See, even if you put the foot in the wrong way, you could slip and fall. That's how far we've sunk. And this is an ostrich foot. It must have walked around here at night. We haven't noticed it. Now they've hooked up a chain that goes between the two cars, and they're putting some stones there under the wheels of that one, and all these little pieces of wood and leaf under the car's tires so it gets more traction. There's another car coming right there. So now the two cars are going to work together to pull this one out. It's again been 4 hours since this started. It's almost 10:30 now, but still no luck. And there's also a horse that's joined the party. This is why we were stuck. The car was just sitting on this big bed of muck. And after 4 hours, again, we're finally out. Time to clean up and get into the car.
Finally out after 15 hours.
15 hours.
Yeah, we got stuck at 9:15 yesterday night. And now it's 12:51 the next day after. Namibia, we passed through the Tropic of Capricorn from the north to the south, and now we are making our way back up.
From
This
the
is-
south to north.
Yeah. This is Tropic of Capricorn, which is passing through Botswana. I think it passes through even Zimbabwe and even Mozambique.